What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today I'm going to be talking about the 10 worst movies that I saw in 2023. In my opinion, my least favorite. Keep in mind, I didn't see every movie. In fact, there's quite a few movies I didn't even bother to go check out because they looked like crap. Okay, didn't see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Didn't see The Marvels. There's quite a few movies I didn't even go check out because they didn't look that great. If I had seen every movie in 2023, more than likely these 10 would be all completely different. Because the 10 I'm talking about, except maybe one of them, but the 10 that I'm talking about are just the 10 least favorite that I saw. And most of the movies I go to see, I'm hoping to see something good. The only exception is a couple of DC movies I went to see, even though I didn't think they'd be that great, but I went to see them because, well, I'm a fan of the DCU and I thought I'm going to go down with the ship. So I went to check those out. But other than that, I try to see movies that look good. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. A couple of quick dishonorable mentions. We have Napoleon. Now, I liked the battle scenes and I thought that the movie was well shot and everything. But unfortunately, I thought the portrayal of Napoleon fell short. He didn't feel inspiring. In fact, he felt like a little sissy quite a bit. I don't know what the deal is with that. And I thought the actor, Joaquin Phoenix, while he's excellent as an actor, he's a little old for the part. He looked 50 all the way from age 26 to age 50. So he just looked 50 the entire movie. And I thought the movie just moved too quick, like boom, 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 scene, without much context. Because they're covering so much history in so little time, this needed to be a mini series. So Napoleon wasn't that great. Didn't quite make the worst 10, but it wasn't that great. Also, the movie that I just saw, Aquaman 2. Okay, I even forgot the little subtitle, but Aquaman, no, it wasn't that great. Okay, it was okay. There were some interesting aspects of it, like how he meets up with Ocean Master, his brother, who they obviously hate each other from the first movie, but have to work together. That's kind of interesting. And there was a few funny moments here and there, but overall, I thought there was too much comedy, too silly, and just not that interesting, not to mention the fact that we know the DCEU's over. None of this matters anyway. This is not part of a bigger universe anymore. This is it. And this is the end of the DCU, and it just kind of went out with a whimper, not with a bang. So it was okay, but not worst 10, but not great. So a couple of dishonorable mentions. But let's get into the worst 10 movies that I saw this year. Starting at number 10, we have Scream 6. Now, this is a disappointing entry in the worst 10 because Scream has always been a very reliable franchise. I think all of the first 5 were either great or good enough. This one, though, I don't know what happened, but they went overboard with the comedy. Like just constant jokes throughout the entire movie. You got people dying with a knife in their throat and they're still joking. Like blood everywhere, joking. Friends and family dead, joking. What's going on? Not funny. And it removes any kind of horror or tension that might be there. Gone. And it's just a shame because, you know, I enjoy the actors. I enjoy Melissa Barrera. I enjoy Jenna Ortega, the new 2 leads who apparently aren't coming back for Scream 7. So now Scream 7's really in trouble unless they totally figure out what they've done wrong in Scream 6, because the only thing that was decent about Scream 6 were some of these actors. So I don't know what's going to happen with Scream 7, but Scream 6 was terrible, worst in the franchise. Up next, we have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Okay, it had a decent opening scene, the flashback, that's about it. After that, old Indiana Jones, very forgettable movie, and the character is disrespected in this movie, in my opinion. I won't spoil it just in case someone hasn't seen it, but I thought that the way that this movie wrapped up was horrible, pathetic, and embarrassing, and just a huge disappointment. I mean, there was a few interesting scenes here and there and some good action here and there, but mainly forgettable and disrespectful to Indiana Jones. Coming in at number 9, we have The Exorcist Believer. And, you know, I thought this was a movie of 2 halves. I thought the first half was interesting, although it didn't feel like an Exorcist movie. Felt like kind of like a missing child movie, like a true crime movie. But in the second half, that's when things just went off the rails in this movie, and the personal beliefs of the director and filmmakers or somebody definitely was interjected seriously into this movie. So we don't have just the traditional Catholic Church and the priest coming up against, this possessed child or children in this case. No, instead, we have to get all the community together. And this is David Gordon Green, of course, just like in Halloween Kills. The community, different religions, and all these different religions are in there taking turns doing their thing. And it's just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. You're interjecting your own worldview into this Exorcist movie. And this is not a passion project by anyone who gives a crap about The Exorcist. You're just someone who made Halloween movies, so they picked your name, and talking about David Gordon Green, and he threw this together. And the only reason it's even this high on the list, I'm going from best to worst here. So the only reason it's this high is because I liked the first half. I did like the first half. I thought it was pretty interesting, but it just fell apart in the second half. At number 7, we have Expendables, okay, aka Expendables 4. Yeah, I mean, this one definitely fell off. And it took, Expendables is a kind of franchise you think would be garbage from part 1 or at least part 2. I actually enjoy elements of the first 3 of these movies, but this one looks totally fake, seems like a total cash grab. A few action scenes, of course. I mean, Jason Statham is pretty cool, but he pretty much takes over the movie. You don't see much of Arnold. You don't see Arnold at all, actually. You don't see much of Sly in this movie. And by and large, it's a forgettable movie with horrible CGI. I mean, some of the green screen is worse than the green screen that I'm doing right now. And I just throw this crap together in 5 seconds. So, I mean, pretty bad. Like, you can literally see the green glow. You see green glow around me? Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying this is a great green screen, but I don't have $100 million. Coming in at number 6, we have the first DCEU movie on the list. Well, I guess the second if you count the dishonorable mention, but Blue Beetle. I saw that this movie was getting lots of good buzz and lots of good reviews, and people were like, this is really fun. This is a great, enjoyable movie. I didn't really feel like I was going to like it, so I didn't see it in theaters, but I bought it on Blu-ray. I bought like Target special, what do they call it? The Target exclusive. Like I spent a little bit of decent money on this really nice Blu-ray to check this one out. I was like, I might as well, go big or go home. Let's get the nice one here. And, this movie is just like, talk about constant comedy. I mean, just like Scream 6, the joking literally never stops in this freaking movie. And it reminded me of the first Shazam. I wasn't a fan of that either, just because of the humor, and most of it just not that funny, unrealistic, people not acting anything close to how real people would act in this movie. And that applies across the board. Now, there's a family dynamic here. There's a Mexican family that's kind of front and center in this movie, trying to be funny throughout the movie. Didn't think it was that funny. Disgusting jokes. Dick this, tits that, poop, shit, I mean, farts. What am I, 12? What am I, not even 12, 6? Like, I don't know what people are seeing in this movie, not to mention some other problems with it that I won't even get into here. I'll talk about that maybe if I do a full review on the movie, but just, I didn't like it was that great. I mean, is there some decent action eventually? There is, but I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just, I don't mind humor. I don't mind funny movies. Make it halfway realistic. You got this guy when he first becomes Blue Beetle, he's got just back, his legs are coming out of his back, like breaking through his back. It looks like he's getting deformed. His face is getting effed up, and the families are making jokes, and like, it should be like a horrifying freaking moment. Like the family would actually freak out. And then he goes flying through the roof. And you would think, like I would think, this man is deceased. I don't know what happened to him, but he's dead now. But the family just, play it for humor, which, some people don't mind. They like going to this movie like, dude, this is not to be taken seriously. Well, the DCEU was supposed to be taken seriously. That was the whole concept of it. We're not going to do the crazy, stupid humor of Marvel. It's going to be a more serious approach. I mean, that's what I went into it for. I have no problem with this movie if you like it, but this is not what I was signed up for with the DCU. That's the Marvel stuff. That's why I don't go see Marvel movies. It's not my thing. So if you loved this movie, that's all awesome. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. Like I want to watch a comedy, I'll watch a comedy. I'll go watch Dumb and Dumber. But if I want an action, comic book movie with some laughs here and there, that's something else. Not just the constant attempts at humor that this movie has, not to mention a lot of other problems I had with it. So Blue Beetle comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we got Man Called Otto. Okay, A Man Called Otto, starring Tom Hanks. This movie also, same problem. Notice a trend. Constant attempts at humor when you would not be making jokes, and it's not funny. Now, if it's funny, there's a movie called, I think it came out this year that didn't make this list, Cocaine Bear. Also constant attempts at humor. But guess what? I actually laughed quite a bit at Cocaine Bear. I got some laughs. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was a good movie, but I got some laughs. In this movie, Man Called Otto, I don't know if I laughed once. I can't say I laughed once. And there's also ideas in this movie they interject that make no freaking sense at all. You have a guy, a transgender guy in this movie who you would think they would put this individual in the movie in order to show Otto not having the greatest respect for them, maybe not quite understanding how to respect a human being and just looking at them like, oh God, what's the world coming to? And you would think he would have an arc and later on appreciate this person and change his views. But no, he's freaking accepting from the beginning. So why was this person in the movie? Just to have representation, that's fine. But like, you had an opportunity to do something with it, didn't do that at all. And I just like, the man called Otto, anyway, they had opportunities to do something interesting with the character, decided not to because it was too much to make Tom Hanks. I mean, he can be grumpy, sure, but we can't make him like bigoted in any way, shape, or form. Oh, that's too much. And, you know, it could have been a really deep movie with some serious, you know, like his old movies, you know, like Philadelphia, you know, like the old freaking movies that used to really have power. And this movie has nothing like that, not even close. Coming in at number 4, we got Five Nights at Freddy's. And this is one that I was talking about. A lot of people loved this movie. This theater was actually packed for the movie, and my theater is never packed. So Five Nights at Freddy's seemed to really bring the people out because of the video game, which I had never played. And I thought the movie was not that good. I thought that the dialogue was cringe. Hard to listen to, this dialogue. It was terrible. The behavior of that police officer, the woman who, I don't even remember, but it was nonsensical, didn't make any sense. Things that she said is things that no person would say. The script was just bad. That's just all I remember this movie. Other than that, pretty forgettable. I mean, there's some little bit of a creep factor in these animatronic animals. I would say, yeah, they're kind of scary, kind of freaky, but I didn't think it was utilized in the best way. And I thought some of the things that this character, the main character, did with his daughter were just insane. It would never happen. And well, I just didn't really enjoy it. But at number 3, my third least favorite movie of the year, 80 for Brady. I thought this movie looked like it might be fun. A little group of older women, you know, pushing 80 or already 80, going to trying to get to the Super Bowl and see their hero, Tom Brady. But the movie was put in, and it was based on a real story, but the movie pushed reality again beyond the limits of what I could handle. I'm sorry. There was a point in the movie where they actually participated, these 4 women, they were trying to get into the game, and then they were talking to like a security guard or something to try to help them get in because their tickets were having a problem with their tickets. Anyway, they started doing a choreographed dance. I don't even remember. I don't remember the details, but they ended up doing a dance with a bunch of people they had never met, with a bunch of girls they had never met, and they're all completely choreographed. Like, where did you choreograph this? Where did you learn the moves? Oh, because it's totally fake and it's just in there just because. I mean, it's just stupid. And then they get in there and they're like, you sneaking into the coach's room where the coach has all the equipment and everything, is relaying the plays, and they start relaying plays. I mean, come on, God, get the freak out of here. They went over the top and then over the top again with this movie, and it wasn't funny other than a couple of lines. It was just cringe. It was like I wanted to leave the theater. But coming in at number 2, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I wasn't a fan of the first Shazam. Why did I even go see this? Because I'm going down with the DCEU ship. I'm going down with the ship. I'm going down. And I went down hard with this movie. Literally nothing in this movie was enjoyable. It was just a suffering of 2+ hours to get through it and get the heck out. And that's all it was. So I thought this movie had nothing. It wasn't funny. I thought it was worse than the first one, especially as far as the personality, which was a big problem with the first movie. The personality of the kid and the personality of the superhero Shazam, when the kid turns into Shazam, are night and motherfucking day. The first movie was bad. The kid was actually serious, a very serious child. Stone cold. Didn't joke much, didn't laugh much. As soon as he turned into Shazam, he's freaking Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura. He is all out, just wild. Now, I get it. You're going to get a little bit of excitement as a kid and you become a superhero. You have all these powers. It's going to be, okay, it's going to bump up your enthusiasm a little bit. But then he goes back to a kid and he's back stone cold again. Well, and the funny thing is, in part 2, Fury of the Gods, it's amplified. He's even more crazy when he's an adult, more silly, more childish than the first one. And when he's a kid, he's even more serious than the first one. So it's an even bigger contrast. Not to mention, I don't remember crap about this movie. The villains, a couple of women, I think. I don't remember anything. They weren't special. They weren't great villains. There wasn't anything great. I don't remember the story. I just watched this movie this year. This was so boring and forgettable. There was some CGI, obviously, and super green screen budget, big budget superhero stuff. Nothing special in this movie. But coming in at number 1, the one movie I actually walked out of, you know it, and I know it. Mafia Mama. I saw the trailer for this movie, and I thought, that looks fun. I love gangster movies. I'm a huge fan of them. That's my favorite genre. And I get this is not your typical gangster movie. Now they're going to throw a kind of comic spin on it. We've seen it from time to time. And usually it works for me. I remember like those couple of movies that came out with Robert De Niro. Analyze this, analyze that. Hilarious movies. Billy Crystal. So there are some comedic takes on the mafia that actually work. And in this case, so the big boss man passes away, okay, the Don. And he leaves everything to this woman who is an American who doesn't know what the hell's going on. She has no idea what she's doing. And so she goes over there and she has to take over as the new Don. And it just sounds like that's a great recipe for some good comedy and a fun movie. This movie thinks that we're 3 years old, or maybe 5. And again, kind of like I talked about in one of the earlier movies that I talked about, Blue Beetle, just nasty jokes, but this one is even worse. Just disgusting humor. Just saying dick and vagina and penis. It's not funny. It's not funny. We know what these terms mean. They're not funny. We're not 5. And the main character, you can't. I didn't even like her. She's horrible. All she wants to do is screw this guy. And she's obsessed with screwing every guy that she meets pretty much. And when she meets people, it's completely unnatural. Everything is just like, I don't believe anything that's happening in this movie. Nothing that happens in this movie. The dialogue is horrible, absolutely terrible. And I have no interest in anything in this movie. It's disgusting. The humor is, again, lowest common denominator. I don't know who the hell was watching this movie and laughing, but damn. I mean, that shit just is not funny. If it was, I'd come and be funny. I'd be a stand-up comedian. I'd be like, what's going on, everybody? Dick! Balls! Look, I'm saying these terms that when 5-6-year-olds learn these terms, they say them and it's funny. No. So I thought this movie was dreadful and I walked out of it with my brother. We were both like, you ready, dude? Just bounce. The worst movie I've ever seen. It was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. And there you have it. Worst 10 of 2023. Let me know your thoughts down below. Some of your least favorite movies of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more content. I'm going to try to come hard in 2024 with more consistent content, more music reviews, and movie talk, and everything else in between. So we're going to try to come big in 24. See you guys next time.